So obviously you've got all these little trigger events. So organizations can walk through
Yeah.
your process, or a salesperson can walk through your process and figure out these triggers. I think one of the things that I found intriguing about what you were doing and is that one trigger event can actually set off several trigger
Yes.
events, right? So if one person moves from a job, guess what? They're moving to a job and someone's coming into that job. And on either sides of that side, then you could go out another layer or two and potentially have seven potential opportunities that fit in there. Can you explain that process that you explained to us? And I still go, wow, that's just brilliant.
So here's what I figured out. So between these different buying modes, so status quo, window of dissatisfaction, searching for alternatives. Between the status quo and the window of dissatisfaction is an event that makes somebody want to change. So they're thinking about it, but they're not doing anything about it yet. These are the times you want to get in front of someone, help them, define the problem, design the solution, and start developing the relationship. But even if you do that, that's not enough. They have to have a second event where they can afford to change. Either they can afford the time or the money. And then the next event that comes after that is they have to be able to justify the event. So I looked at these events that made people want to change. And what are the events that create the best opportunities? Well, it turns out a change in decision makers. So you got a decision maker who is involved in a process to choose a vendor or a solution of some sort. Doesn't matter if it works or not. Their ego and their reputation is tied to that solution. And it's not until that person leaves that somebody new comes in and takes their place and says, whoa, this is busted. We got to tear this out and do something different.
So, and they're taking a lot of those pieces with them. So that new person is sitting there pretty much with an empty desk.
With an empty desk.
Yeah.
Right? But here's what happens. So there's a couple of opportunities. So first of all, if this person was an ally or a friendly, if their email address bounces because you've got them on a mailing list or they subscribe to your blog, what happens with most organizations, they move, the email address bounces, people take that person's name off the list and they do nothing else. I'm thinking, hang on a second, take that bounced email, hand it to your best sales rep and say, here's a bunch of opportunities. And here's how that works. So the guy or gal who was there, where did they go? If they were a friend or an ally, follow them.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't, odds are they're still more likely to buy from you now because they were stuck with the old solution. They could not admit they were wrong. They go somewhere new. They know they made a mistake, and they're open to doing things differently. The person that takes their place. So what I love about when someone leaves, and for most salespeople or consultants, business owners, whatever, you get a small chunk of business from somebody, but you want more. And you try to convince the guy or gal you're doing business with to give you a chance to get more. You want to get introduced to their boss to figure out what's the big problem they've got you can help. But the problem is they won't let you go above their head. And if you do go above their head, what happens is they get pissed off, they cut you off, and you end up with nothing.
There's an ego play.
There's an ego play.
Yeah.
Well, now that guy or gal is gone. Now you can talk to their boss and there's no repercussions.
Ah, so you're actually mining the entire division at that
point,
moment.
I'm now going, okay, I've done this. I want a bigger piece of the pie. I want to move farther up the organization where someone has more money, more authority, and more influence.
So conceivably, there's a group of people in the company that you've seen the change. There's a group of people in the company that took on that employee where he moved on to.
Yeah.
And then there's the past.
There's the past. So I get to go talk to their boss, which means
you have
I get
like an army of people that you can talk to.
Well, and here's the thing. That organization that wouldn't let you in before, the guy or gal that takes your place is now, on average, 10 times more likely to become your customer. So who wouldn't want to go farm leads where someone's 10 times more likely to become your customer? So I'm a big fan of going talking to the person who left, talk to their boss. So you then have greater influence over the person that comes in. And someone new comes into their job, and you get a chance to go see them. There's really only one question you need to ask when you get started. And the very first question I think you should ask is, where did you come from? Because that organization has also had a change, and they're now 10 times more likely to become your customer. Now, you could stretch this out if you want.
And that's actually an easy question when you think about it. It's like, I'd like to be able to help you out. Where did you come from? Like, what were some of your basics when you started prior to this? And then they open up easily, don't they?
Yeah, and here's the thing. And if they don't tell you, it's easy to find out.
Yeah.
You just go on LinkedIn
Yeah.
and bring up their profile, and it'll tell you where they were before.
Yeah.